Hey there, Leo, welcome to your reading. This is your bonus reading and we're going to jump right in here. So you have the woman and the heart. I can't show you this woman card, her chesticles are hanging out on the card so I have to cover it up, but it's a woman. And the woman and the heart can represent either marriage or a new commitment coming in for you. So, for those of you looking for love, that's pretty good. If you don't want love, I would say you're just committing to work or something new in work with the Eight of Pentacles showing up here as well. And again, that could be good. I really like the Eight of Pentacles for you in this reading, Leo, because I feel that you have another heart card as well. How crazy is that? But I feel like you've been working very hard towards something, or you've been trying to, accomplish something. And I always look at the Eight of Pentacles as a card of material success on the horizon. It can basically represent success that's coming in for you from work that you've done in the past. So this is your first card, and this is how you are entering into the reading since I'm doing a Celtic cross. And the Eight of Pentacles is like hard work or, putting the work in to make something successful. And he's almost done. He only has one more pentacle to complete, and then he will be done with his journey, or he will be done with what he has been working on, and he will get a result, whatever that result is that he's hoping for. So I feel that this is a good thing. I also really like that you have the Strength card here. The Strength card and the Eight of Pentacles are two cards that I consider representing like working very deeply on yourself. So a lot of you could have been doing a lot of work on yourselves. Your crossing energy is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, of course, can represent heartbreak. It can represent sadness. The crossing energy is basically what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. And so, with the Three of Swords, we just have to practice forgiveness and we have to forgive the past. I kind of feel that you need to forgive yourself. It's like just looking at the Leo astrology, I feel that a lot of you kind of maybe, if you are feeling this energy, there might be things that you're saying to yourself like, oh, I should have, done this a long time ago. Like you're beating yourself up like that. If that makes sense, where you're saying like, I should have done this in work, or I should have done this in business. But, I feel this is kind of saying you need to forgive yourselves for those things that you think that you should have done, but because number one, you didn't, number two, it's like, I don't know, sometimes we just do things at different times. Or sometimes we don't figure it out right away. That's the whole point of life. It's like we're here to learn, we're here to figure things out, and I feel that's, just part of the process. So that's what I'll say there. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have you showing up here. So whenever you show up as yourself, it really puts you in a position of power and strength, and gives you, kind of puts you in a powerful position for the reading, allows you to get what you want from the reading. Having the Strength card in the area of what's on your mind, or the area of your thoughts, would represent mental strength. So I feel a lot of you have developed a lot of mental strength. She is taming the lion that is on the card. She is the one that is taking control of that lion. The lion represents her inner voice, her inner critic, things like that. And it's something that she has to work on every single day. But I feel a lot of you have developed a lot of mental strength, is really what this is saying. Next, in the area of your foundation, you have the Magician. The Magician in your foundation says you can have whatever you want in life. The Magician says now it's not, of course, that easy. You have to put the work in, and you also have to make sure you're using the right tool for the job. Usually we have to have some sort of new beginning with the Magician. These are all the ace versions of the suits in front of him, and he needs to make sure that what he wants to do with his life or what he's about to do, he needs to make sure to pick the right tool for the job. So I would make sure. And he also needs to realize that he has all the tools for the job. Like, he doesn't have to just stick to one energy. He can use whatever he wants. It's also interesting that you end with the Tower. It's not a bad reading. I definitely do feel a Tower moment coming for you, but that it should not scare you as much as I think it probably does. I think that this is more about reinvention. The Magician has a snake wrapped around his waist. It's the Ouroboros, and it just represents reinvention or reinventing yourself. And so there could be a reinvention, which definitely is a Tower moment. Whenever you change yourself or you change something about yourself, that is a Tower moment. So, I'm not ready to say this is a bad thing, and we're going to clarify through the whole reading, so we will see. Next, in the area of your past, this is the energy you are moving past. You have this Healing energy card. It says you are in the process of healing. Eliminate any bad energies from your life. So even with that Three of Swords, it could say that you're healing. You have this inner goddess. It says express your divine feminine energy, and loving wisdom will transform your life. So we see a lot of heart energy here. You have 2 heart cards and you have the 3 of Swords, which has a gigantic heart on it. So a lot of you could be healing your heart, and not even for love purposes. It could be for anything. Your heart is pretty much connected to everything, so I feel a lot of healing here. You have the Ace of Swords in the past. The Ace of Swords is a pretty good card, a card of victory, a card of success coming for you. The Ace of Swords is about balance and focus. The sword is perfectly balanced. It's like sharp on both sides, and it's a perfectly balanced sword. The Ace of Swords also, again, represents laser-like focus, or focusing exactly on what you want in life, and, really kind of being focused on the goal or what you're trying to achieve. And yeah, I think that some of you still are. Next, in the area of the very near future, you have this never-ending story card and this no place like home card. I almost get the feeling that you need to face something that has been repeating. If there is a never-ending story in your life, or you need to stick up for yourself in some way. I also feel with the Magician that this reading is saying now is the time to change your story. It's pretty crazy that all the fixed signs get these readings that really are encouraging. It's like fixed signs are the only signs that are getting these readings that are really, really encouraging you to change your story. It's like saying you don't have to live the way you've been living forever. You can choose to change. And I feel this reading, especially with the Tower, which is the most powerful change card, it's saying you can choose to change. Also, in the very near future, you have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a card of curiosity and kind of becoming interested in something new, or at least that, that's not the only thing it represents, but, that's kind of what I feel for you here, Leo, is that you are becoming interested in a new life. Usually this just starts as curiosity. It's kind of crazy to think about life. It's like, as I've gotten older, it's like there are so many things that, I've done where it was just something I was interested in, and then I ended up going through with an idea that started as just a tiny little seed of curiosity, right? And so that's how I think of the Page of Swords. Sometimes we get an idea we think oh, I want to go do this or that or the other thing. And then that seed grows and it becomes more. And we need to follow our curiosity. We need to go on those adventures of curiosity as well. And that's what I feel the Page of Swords is encouraging. Sometimes I feel the Page of Swords is encouraging childlike energy as in asking a lot of questions about things. Just researching, being curious, all that other stuff. Next, in the area of your outcome row, you have this new love card. Again, your first combination, the heart and the woman, literally represents love, new love. You have this mountain. It says challenges and achievements on it. You have the Ace of Swords in your past position. The Ace of Swords represents a challenge and an achievement right here. So the sword is always above the mountains on the Ace of Swords, and it represents the fact that, yeah, we will always have challenges in life, but we can always choose to overcome those challenges, and I would definitely encourage that. You have the Nine of Wands in the area of the next few months. The Nine of Wands definitely says don't give up and keep pushing. The Nine of Wands is also a great card of experimentation, and definitely for Leo, I would encourage a lot of experimentation right now. The Nine of Wands is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So whatever, I feel like you're trying to accomplish all sorts of stuff here. So whatever you're trying to do in your life, I would be trying new things and just kind of seeing what happens. He is the wounded warrior, and we do have the Wound right here with the Three of Swords. So again, I feel this is pretty good, the Knight of Wands, because it's saying you're not giving up. You are the wounded warrior, but maybe you're going through healing, or you're choosing to heal, and of course that is a good thing. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Seven of Wands. I definitely feel Leo has had challenges in all relationships in their lives, and, the Seven of Wands is kind of putting up a boundary or drawing a line in the sand. I feel that would be good for you, Leo, to draw a line in the sand and have boundaries and connections moving forward. I would just be careful of completely closing off with the Seven of Wands. It's I don't look at the Seven of Wands as a bad card, but sometimes I feel he can be just too shut down and too closed off, and he is being a little bit unrealistic in, what he's willing to allow into his life. But, overall, I think drawing a line in the sand is a good thing. You also have the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Wands. The Nine of Wands is the card of perseverance. The Seven of Wands is the card of persistence. These are two energies that I would definitely be embracing if I were you, Leo. I would make sure that not giving up on goals with that Ace of Swords in the past, things that are important for you. I would make sure that you're being persistent and perseverant. You also have these two cards or two things that are saying that there could be new love coming into your life. So again, if you want love, I would definitely open up with the Seven of Wands. My problem with the Seven of Wands is that he feels like he's not ready. He has two different shoes on, or he has a shoe and a boot on, and it basically says that he had to rush out of his house to defend his position at the top of the hill. So he kind of moved too quickly and he put the wrong shoes on. And so with the Seven of Wands, it kind of says there will never be a perfect moment for you to do something. So, don't it kind of says that yeah, we shouldn't rush, but at the same time it's like you're as ready as you're going to be. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is about seeing the future clearly for the first time. She's also kind of cautiously optimistic. She has her hand up, but she also has her sword up here, so she's willing to receive, but she will cut something out of her life very quickly if she needs to. And yeah, I just feel that for you, Leo. I feel like you are not to be messed with at this time. You have the Tower. I don't feel too bad about the Tower. Again, if you are going through a reinvention or you are thinking about reinventing yourself, that is a Tower moment. You are creating a change. The whole point of the Tower is that these people have been ignoring reality, and now they're being brought down to reality, so they're seeing reality for what it is. I always say that, to me I like the Tower. I think it is a good card because why would you want to live not in reality, right? And, these people need to see reality for what it is. But again, if you're creating a new reality, of course you are, then, again, it could cause a Tower moment. So not really a bad thing. I do feel like there could be some sort of abrupt change coming into your life. It's kind of interesting. I almost feel Six of Swords energy here. Six of Swords is moving on to calmer shores. But the Six of Swords, the woman and the child in the boat, they're completely starting over, and on the other side, for the hopes of a brighter future. So if you are, even though we don't have the Six of Swords here, I kind of feel that whole thing where it's yeah, you might be starting over in some area of your life, but it could be for a brighter future. We'll have to see what comes up in the reading. With the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords definitely needing to unlock your heart. We have two heart cards, Three of Swords, Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction, or keeping yourself stuck in something. She's standing in this water here. But that water is very shallow, so it's meant to represent shallow emotions. It's not saying that you are shallow, it is just saying that things that you're worried about or things that you're concerned about really might not be as much of a concern as you think. So, the Eight of Swords is about seeing that things can be different in different situations. If you are hurt in love, that doesn't mean that everyone is going to hurt you. With the Strength card, you have the Ace of Swords. Yes, I feel like you have to have the strength to accomplish something here because you have the Ace of Swords twice. The Ace of Swords is a victory or an accomplishment coming in for you. I really like this though, Leo. The Ace of Swords is laser-like focused, and it's coming up in the area of what's on your mind, or the area of your thoughts. So I do feel you are very focused on accomplishing something or achieving something, and, again, having laser-like focus is half the battle, because then you can see something through to the end. With the Magician, you have the Four of Wands and the Justice card. Four of Wands can represent marriage or a commitment. The Justice card is cause and effect. I always say with justice we have to double down on the good stuff and we have to get rid of the rest. So if things aren't working, we have to remove those things. But, this doesn't have to be love. This could be something that you're committing to, and with the Magician you could be looking for something that brings balance into your life. We see a lot of balance here. Ace of Swords twice, definitely balance. And so you could be looking for something to commit to here. The Justice card is also about taking a neutral position. So if you are attracting new love, there's a lot of love here, but it also doesn't look like a love reading, which is kind of weird, because there are no love cards here really, except for the Four of Wands. Now, but what this could say is that maybe you have learned that you have to enter into connections in a neutral position instead of entering into them and being this is the person I have to marry. You could be taking more of that middle ground where you're just saying, I'll see where things go. I'm going to pay attention to cause and effect. I'm going to pay attention to the scales in the connection, and if it works, great. And I kind of feel you might be adopting that attitude. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, the Knight of Wands can be a little bit chaotic. The Knight of Wands can be inconsistent. It is almost like you are trying to make your life more consistent, or you're trying to make your work or your business more consistent, especially if it has been inconsistent. The Eight of Pentacles is very consistent work. He is just doing the same thing every single day. He's, working on these 8 pentacles and he's not all over the place. And the Ace of Swords, like I said, is great focus. It wouldn't be this all over the place energy. So as far as work is concerned, I feel a lot of you are either getting more focused, or you could be making changes to create more focus. With the Page of Swords, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success and it's also focus. Those 8 wands are all pointing in one direction. And so, this has come up for other people in these readings, so it definitely seems like a time where the universe is trying to get everyone to pick one thing and make it happen. And with the Eight of Wands, we cannot be going in 2 directions. We can only focus in one direction. If we pull in 2 directions, we're just creating that conflict where we're just always going back and forth. We need to focus in one direction, and so that's what I would do with the Eight of Wands. With the Page of Swords, this could also be communication. For those of you that want love, I always think that the Eight of Wands is a really good card for meeting a person through socializing. So if you're looking to meet a new person, a social opportunity would be a really good idea. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Three of Swords. I literally connected those two when we got to the Nine of Wands. So you are the wounded warrior. I feel that it is time to heal for sure. Especially if you've been going through something difficult or challenging, it could be a good time to take a little bit of extra time to heal. Although I kind of feel like you have, because of the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, he is grabbing onto this one last wand, and he's giving something another chance. He's giving something another go. I'm not saying you're going back to a person that hurt your heart, but you could be opening up to love again. Maybe your business didn't work out. It's like you might be trying again. So I kind of feel like you have healed, but the Three of Swords definitely says heal. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is everything you want and desire in a connection. Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty, happy home, happy family. So this is coming up in the area of your closest relationships. If you want love, it's a really, really good card to get. It could say that you're attracting love or you're attracting a new connection. It also could say that you need to focus on the bright side. I think I said that earlier in the reading. They are choosing to focus on these 10 cups even though they are standing in the real world. So they still have to deal with all the real-world issues, problems, and challenges, but they're choosing happiness. And I think that would be a great thing, especially with the Strength card in the area of your thoughts. With the Strength card there, we have to work on developing strength in our mind. And so working on being happy, or focusing on happiness, is a great, great way to do that. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. Again, this definitely could be a love offer because she has her hand up like she's willing to receive something, and the Ace of Cups could represent a love offer. The Ace of Cups can also represent flow or getting into the flow, that the Ace of Cups is something that can fulfill itself. And I feel with the Strength card in the area of your thoughts and the Ten of Cups, even that all this could say that, learning to fulfill yourself will lead to other things that you desire. Yeah, with the Tower you have the Fool. Like I said, I do not think that the Tower is a bad thing. I think the Tower could be a new opportunity. The Tower can be a surprise, but it could be a good surprise. The Tower can be a light bulb moment that you take action on. I do feel there is a Tower moment here, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But, I've been saying to you for a while now, at least that, it wouldn't surprise me if in the future Leos end up in new careers or, new jobs or with new businesses, and doing things that are more exciting or, finding something that's more fulfilling. And so I feel that the Tower change is a positive change that's coming in, so that is very good. Let's see what else we get for you here, Leo. You have this Nest card. It says an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. I feel like you get this card with me every time I use this deck. So, of course, very Leo card. And you have the Ten of Cups. I feel like Leo is love, family, of course. So, you definitely could be wanting to create a family, or maybe you already have a family, and, that's good. You have this chair empty. It says someone is leaving your life. We kind of see that with the Three of Swords. Something could have ended or something could have come to an end in the connection. And, a person is just leaving your life. You have this Yoke card. It says feeling tied down and frustrated. I feel like you've been feeling this way for a very long period of time. I feel the universe is trying to get you to do something new with the Tower and the Fool. I've been saying this to you for a long time. I think that out of all the signs, Leo is probably the sign that is going to make the biggest change, like work-wise. So it wouldn't surprise me if there is like a significant change in the way that you work. I would be, I know I've said this to you before, Leo. It's like I always get this message of like doing the opposite for Leo. It's like however you work, it's like what is the opposite thing that you could be doing? And I'm not saying you have to like quit your job, but like is there a different way you can approach your tasks that you do in work or business? Or, is there another way of looking at things? And that's what I would be paying attention to here. Now you have this old woman. I always clarify these cards. It says dealings with relationships with an old woman. And then you have this fair man that says dealings your relationships with a man with gray or white hair or blonde hair. So I don't know, you could be dealing with some people. This could be your parents or something like that that you're dealing with. At the end you have this bridge. It says successfully overcoming a problem. You have this desk card. It says pay attention to your work, which I definitely would. And again, with the Ace of Swords, I think we said that you could be overcoming some sort of issue or problem which the Ace of Swords can represent. So this could have to do with work. But, pretty interesting reading here, Leo. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.